How are you all doing? This is Osborne Hurst here, One Brother to Another, Incorporated again. I wanted to share something with you all that I was reading. I was reading a report, and I believe that this is one of the reasons and the drives that I have because when I read information like this, it really brings home the truth. It brings it home to the point to where we have nothing but straight data in our faces to let us know that it's all of the complaining and all of the griping and all of the finger pointing and all of this and that does not solve the problem. Let me read something to you all. We need to tap into the initiative of young men of color who are actively pursuing a path to success. Young men of color need to be viewed in the context of their family, neighbors, and experiences. We need to do more to associate masculinity and positive outcomes, public and culture. Can I read something else to you? Disconnected from the work or employment, ages 16 to 24-old males. 16% are African American, 11% are Latinos, 7% are white. 4-year graduation rates. 16 to 24-year-old males, 70% for white, 48% for black, 47% for Latino. Children ages 0 to 17 living in poverty, 32% Latino, 29% black, 15% white. 16 to 24-year-old males with less than a high school degree. Latinos are 43% of that. Black are 32% of that. Whites are 13% of that. Percent of students in special education classes. 45% are Latino, 37% are black, 12% are white. Student scoring, here it goes, at or above basic in grades 4 and 8. The reading test. 77% are white, 44% are black, 44% are Latino. Students scoring at above basic in grades 4 through 8 reading tests. We have to come to understanding now that we must, young brothers, we must, older brothers, be able to do more than just come to a seminar or a conference, but we must put boots on the ground. If we was in the service, we understand what that means. We must put action into play. No more of having the big conglomerates. Now, what can we do? And watch this. Certain things that we must do will not be liked by everybody, but when there's a need, action speaks. We must have opportunities. We must have men who are willing to get up, stand up, and go out and go into these homes. But watch this. When we leave, the parents must be able, have to be able, just for a little while, just for that moment, just for that time in that child's life until they grow up, leave out of the home, go into the military, go to college. Be that parent to supervise, to love, to direct. And watch this. I understand. God knows I was a single parent. I was a single parent, and I was a product of a single mother. But now we live in a society into where lawlessness is coming of age. Everyone want to do what they want to do, and yet this right here, and this study is taken from the Young Men's Initiative report to the mayor out of New York City. Out of New York City. Just imagine what other cities and states are going through. New York City is a big old city. Just imagine Atlanta, Georgia, where I live at right here, where I'm at home now. Just imagine California, Chicago. These are black young men. And now it takes a Harvey Foundation. It takes a Gates Foundation. It takes you You. It takes every millionaire, every professional athlete. It takes every man who is in a top tier position. It takes the garbage man to stand up and say, you, let me mentor you. I got a call today from the big brothers, big sisters. And I already mentor, but I want to do more. And I'm going in for an interview with them next week. But the thing is this here. If I can do this part, and then I can add on this part, and I also preach and teach on Sundays and Wednesdays, and I have a big scope, but there's more. I'm not going to burn myself out, but there's more. There's so much more. And so now, let's use a lot of these recommendations. We have to say, one said, expand efforts to attract men of color to the teaching profession. Missing men with fathers absent from homes, positive men of color absent from the popular culture. The popular culture. Are we in the culture? Are we in the place where they are at? Are we doing the things that will attract them, or are we going to the place that attract them to be able to pull them from that? Or are we in a 1960s, 70, 80 mode when we're in a 2015, 2020 mode? We must be effective in the generation that we're in now. So now, out of the box preaching, teaching has to be not a hoop, not a shout. If you do it, that's good and well. But not a hoop, not a shout to the point to where you are not taught the word. But more than that, you're not taught life lessons. My grandfather's dead and gone now, but he would say it like this. Live long enough. Keep living. Life will show you. If these young men and women are going to keep living in the way that they're living, life is not going to show them some good ways. And it's up to us, you and I, brother, you and I, sister, it's up to us to be able to do something. So I encourage each and every one of you all to find a mentor. Find a mentor organization. Start your own. There are so many things out there, so many places out there that you can start. Start your own. Get busy, get to moving, because somebody's son and daughter needs you. Our black men need us. Young boys who feel like being tough and rough. Young boys who've never been told I love you. Young boys who've never been held before. Young boys who've never been said you're a good man. Young boys. And can I share this with you? I had never been told that I was a good man until my wife. My wife told me, Michelle told me, you're a good man. Do you know I walked away and I had tears in my eyes? Because I was never told that. Raising my son, I was never told that. Ups and downs, but yet I stood. It's time for you to stand. Let us stand together.